What's crackalacking, guys? I'm a Duck Quack here, and welcome back to another episode in our trading technique videos. So we're just going over all the different trading techniques, possibilities, how you do them, how to maximize efficiency, etc, etc. So in this video, we're going to look at sniping. Now, when most people think of sniping, they think, I've got 157,000 coins, let's think of a big name, let's go for Ronaldo. Let's set the maximum price to what we can afford, so we can buy him for 157,000 coins. Think of the profit we're going to make if we do find one. We'll set the max price. So we want to set the max price to the maximum price. The reason for this is when we have a search, the market doesn't refresh. So we want to come into the pricing, change the search filters, drop it down by 1, come back out of it, search again. This refreshes the market every time you do it, so you're always going to get fresh and fast results. Now, I could sit here all day trying to do this with Ronaldo, and I'm never going to find one pop up for this price. Even if Ronaldo was selling for 1.5 million and I try it for 1.4 million, say I get lucky, I find one, then I say I get really lucky and actually win that one. Then when I come to sell it on for 1.5 million, I'm losing 75,000 coins immediately to EA tax. So for all of those hours I put in trying to snipe a Ronaldo, I've made 25,000 coins, which just is not worth it. So what people need to do is break it down a little bit more. So let's break it down and just go for a bit of a smaller player. So let's say we're going to go for Sterling. Just a random player I thought off the top of my head there. So I'm guessing Sterling is about 1,500. Nope, a bit more. A bit more. A bit more. He's about 2,300 coins. Okay, cool. So he sells for 2,300 coins. So if we want to snipe him, we want to snipe him for about 2,000 coins. That means that when we sell him for 2,300 coins, we lose the EA tax side of it. So that's 115 coins we lose. So actually we could search for 2,100 coins. So we lose just over 120 coins when we sell him on for 2,300. So if we pick him up for 2,100, we're making a tiny profit of 80 coins, but we also have the chance to find him for all those cheaper prices as well. So what we're going to do here is just sit here, refreshing the search parameters until a Sterling pops up. Now, while this method can be very effective, we have massively narrowed our chances of finding snipes, and even when we find them, we've massively reduced our chances of winning them just because we're searching for one player here. So you can see how hard it is to actually find a single player pop up. And we just chose Sterling because he's a couple of thousand coins, he plays in a big league, there's no real logic behind it. So what we really need to do with this is break down a little bit more and think of the players we're trying to snipe and think of the reasons we're trying to snipe them. So a good example would be, let's think of the current big squad builder challenges that have been released. We've got to relate this to relevant at the time squad builder challenges and market changes. So the players like Czech at the moment, they've gone up in price massively because the David Luiz, the El Shawari and the Torres SBCs require these whole high rated players. So I think Czech's about 23,000, 24,000 coins. So if we were going to snipe someone, sniping Czech for about 22,000 coins would be a good, about 21.5 say, would be a good target just for a single player. Because he could be listed for discard value by accident or something, which would give us a huge profit. But even if we're picking him up for 19, 20,000, we're still going to be making over 1,000 coins profit per snipe. Now the problem with this again is, it's a much better player to snipe because the demand for him is there, and he's going to be providing a bigger price tag for us. But at the same time, we're so limited to our search results because we're still only searching for one player with this method. So what we need to really think about is, what are the current squad builder challenges that are available at the moment, and how can we use these to our advantage? So what we'll do is we'll just quickly come into here and I'll show you an example. So we've got the League SBCs. The most recent League SBC isn't going to be shown here because I've already completed it, but it's the Premier League SBC. So what we can come into the search filters and do is set something up that's going to give us the maximum chance of making some money. So we're going to go for Premier League, obviously. The club we're going to choose is Chelsea. We're going to set our rarity to gold, so we only get the gold players. And we're going to go for any type of defender. Now, if we set our search filters to 1,500 coins, we find nothing. 1,600 coins, we get a bunch of Terrys, a couple of Zoomers as well. So we know that what they sell for is 1,500 coins instantly. So we want to be sniping for 1,300 coins or less. Now we'll set this up here again and we'll just start searching. Now why is this filter so much better than the player filters we looked at before? Well, it's a simple reason. We're getting every single Chelsea defender of gold rarity within this. So some of them are worth a lot more that could be listed for lower. Some of them are just Terry and Zuma, which we might pick up and make 100 coins off. But we are covering the likes of, Terry, Zuma, Cahill, all of the fullbacks as well. So which gold? We've got Ivanovic. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. Azpilicueta. There's just so many players that fall into this search filter. It doesn't mean that we're going to get a ton of results, and it doesn't mean we're going to show the ones that come up and we're going to win them. We get one there. It's Terry for 1,300. We win him for 1,300. We know that they instantly sell for 1,500. So we sell them on for 1,500. That's a 200 coin profit before tax, 125 coin profit after tax. Now that isn't massive on its own, but that's more than enough. Oh, another one, a Zuma for 1,300. We're a little bit slow there, but that could have been 2 players we'd won in the space of 30 seconds. Now, this has already proved to be more successful than the other filters we looked at, and we have the chance of getting the big names for an absolute bargain. The key to these filters are to cover as many different players as you can with one single search. If all of them can return you a profit, then you're going to be guaranteed that you make an absolute solid profit from every single search you make. So we're just going to keep going here just to see how long it takes us to find one more Chelsea player. It might take quite a while by the looks of it. But if we do pull an Azpilicueta up for 1,300 coins, or we get an Ivanovic, or just anyone that's worth a little bit more than the Terrys and the Zumas, then we're going to be absolutely laughing. There are a lot better filters out than this at the moment as well. But obviously, I'm just going to show you guys one that works and one that can't be abused by everyone. So if you can do your own research, look at the league SBCs, look at the marquee matchups, look at the big players like Czech that we had search for there. Azuma for 1,300 and we completely mess it up. But you guys get the gist of it. A lot more come up on this because we're covering a much bigger angle, many more players in the same search. Now you can also, you can't do the same actually. I was going to say you could do the same for Italian centre-backs, picking up from Juventus, sorry, picking up Barzagli, Bonucci and Chiellini. But I think you've got Rugani who falls under that. So that's so nearly a very, very, very strong trading method there. I think you may be able to do Premier League, Arsenal gold, defenders. I'm not sure if there's any really cheap ones in there. There's not, no. So it's exactly the same with Arsenal as well. You've got Gibbs and Debuchy, which are the cheapest. And if we lower it a little bit to 1,400, still getting nothing. 1,500, so cool. So it's exactly the same as the Chelsea one. Set it to 1,300 coins, set this to maximum, and then just start searching and wait till you find players. That's how easy this is to do. And you're covering so many more. The key is to find a filter that isn't being used by many people at the same time. So if you find a filter that loads of people are using, not only are you waiting a while till a player pops up, but then when a player does pop up, you're competing with everybody else to try and win that player. If you find a more unique filter that not a lot of people use, then you have the absolute bonus of basically having time just to win every single player that's listed, which puts you miles ahead of everyone else because they're all competing over exactly the same players. Now, remember, just be fresh with it. So if a new squad builder challenge is released, make sure that you're looking at possibilities within that straight away. Whether it's marquee matchups, whether it's another league SBC, there is always potential to be made from sniping filters. You've just got to make sure that you're using the correct sniping filter for that time. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video there. As I said, they're only short videos. But if you did enjoy this series and you are enjoying this series, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, comment if you've got any questions. And again, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.